Welcome to the Bad Girls on Business, the podcast that makes business more fun so you want to do more of it. Here are your hostesses with the mostesses, Jenny Bellinger, Virginia Muskies, and Michelle Nedelec.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a thrilling episode of the Bad Girls on Business, where we deliver to you a whole lot of savvy with a little bit of sass. And we are here today with one of my favorite gurus, entertainers, people on the planet. It's Captain Lou Edwards. And I got to tell you guys, it is impossible to look at or speak to Captain Lou without smiling. He is a whirlwind of stories, non sequiturs, rhyming catchlines, and constant movement, full of humor and fun and optimism. We have never left this man's presence without feeling happier, or at least just a little more cheerful. And that's where we're going to leave it, because Captain Lou is a grand storyteller and he tells his bio better than anybody. But Captain Lou, before we start, let's introduce our other hostesses with the mostesses. Jenny Bellinger, tell everybody all about you.
Hey, welcome back to the show. I'm Jenny Bellinger. I am your direct sales dom, helping you whip your business into shape.
And Michelle Nedelec.
I'm Michelle Nedelec. I'm your mistress in business, helping you get it up and keep it up. And of course, we're talking about revenue and profit.
And I'm Virginia Muskies, the referral diva, helping emerging entrepreneurs add $100,000 to their top line revenue in 12 months or less without a single dollar in ad spend. And we are so excited to have you on the show, Captain Lou.
Oh, you know what? For that, I've got to turn on my my cruise light. There you go. Is it working?
Oh, well,
Did
that's
you just
great. No
squeeze
one
your
can
nipples?
see that, but Captain Lou just squeezed his boobies
nipples.
and showed us his pasties. So, hey, Lou, by the way, the ladies don't know this, and we do have to establish it. You know that I told you we podcast by consent. We are safe, sane, and consensual. So we can be as nice, as naughty, or as nasty as you like. So just let us know, nice, naughty, or kink.
Listen, I'm up for anything, and I already love the energy and the naughtiness of all of you ladies. So even though I went to parochial school, yeshiva, a lifetime ago, this is why I abandoned ship then and went into the real world so that we could have a little flavor and naughtiness. And you're frozen again. There you
Right.
go.
So we're naughty. We're naughty today.
You can be
ladies.
naughty.
So let's. Yes.
I heard
Woohoo! So, ladies, what do you want to know about Captain
that sounded
Lou?
like kink to me
All right,
too.
it's kinky. Whatever you
No,
want.
wait, hold on.
Girl.
Why
Maybe it was just me and I heard what I wanted.
does Jenny have in her background something that says BDSM?
She does.
Yes, I do.
Jenny, go ahead and fill in Captain Lou real quick and then ask him anything you want to know, because he's a tell-all.
Would love to. So, all right. So the reason I have BDSM in my background is because my podcast is called Badass Direct Sales Mastery. And I'm the direct sales dom, and I help rockstar network marketing and direct sales moms whip their business into shape.
Oh,
Easy peasy.
what a fabulous USP. I love it. I love it.
We dreamt that up, Lou. We were coming back from Steve Olsher's first New Media Summit, and we were just being ridiculous on the airplane. And I was like, oh my God, from stay-at-home mom to direct sales dom. And we had like all these images. They never worked out. They were really good in theory, but this is what our graphic artist came up with. So that's what she does.
Well, listen.
Jenny, what do you want to know about Captain Lou?
I got to tell you, ladies, that's much better than what I did a few years ago. I put on my business card. Remember when people used to have business cards? I put on Captain Lou Edwards, a speaker, a consultant, author, marketer. And then I realized
spam. That's awesome.
So I had 1,000 business cards that said scam on it as my acronym.
So check this one out, Lou. Here's my best business card ever. Sent away, had these people do this business card, didn't bother to look at the proof. I hand my business card over to Michael Mayer, the author of 7 Levels of Communication. And he goes, is your name really Vagina? My name Vigina. He was like, did your mother really name you Vagina?
It rhymes with Regina.
I know. I was like, why would you say that? And he was like, you might want to not hit
Oh
up
my
these business
goodness.
cards.
I love it. I love it. Oh my God.
That's awesome. I think I would
Embarrassing
keep those
business
Let me see, where's
card
my card? Hold on.
moments. Okay,
Oh, now
Actually,
he's
Captain
having
Captain
Lou
Lou
your
has exited the building.
It's okay.
We're,
It's okay. So
Lou?
wait a minute. So the newest card is I'm the CFO. A little bit of a glare. The CFO. I'm the chief fun organizer here at Special Events at Sea, where we'll go overboard for you and your group event.
I love it.
Yay.
That's hot. What do you think, Michelle?
That's
Is that
hot,
hot?
right?
That's hot. And he does go overboard. We had a lot of blast.
Yes.
I think I might actually be in one of those pictures or that one.
Michelle's like, I think I'm right there. Well, of course, everyone's listening to a podcast, so they're not getting all these fabulous visuals that we're providing. But Lou, go ahead and do your bio. Let everybody know who you are, what's so cool about you, where you come from, all that good stuff. Because
Then
your
we'll spend
story
the
is
rest
just
of that
fabulous.
half hour just talking you up because
Well, the thing is, I need to overcome my shyness. So will you ladies help me? My bio, oh my goodness. They just did a 6-page feature spread on me, an article, which is probably where you, it was,
center spread.
what is it? A center,
So they
yes,
did a center
I've got
spread on
the staple.
And
Because
I
that's how
started
shy
going to
you
the
are.
I started going into the dungeon equipment room. I'm sorry, just
The
keep
center
going.
spread, in Groove Digital Magazine that's coming out about how I became the accidental mastermind and joint venture millionaire just by showing up at a live seminar event in January of 2023. It was Armin Morin's big seminar.
2023 is 2 years from now.
No,
Lou.
I meant 2003.
Okay. Just like
Wow,
Michelle
you are
said-
awesome.
Michelle
If I
was
could
like-
turn up at events 2 years from now, I'd be a multimillionaire.
This is great. Wait, not only that, but it's like back to the future.
It's
too.
back to the future. Okay, so let's do a little live editing time travel here and go back to 2003 when I showed up at a thing called the Big Seminar. And back then I wasn't Captain Lou. I wasn't even Captain Who yet. I was a blind man. Window treatments for like 23 years. I did window blinds. And then I wanted to stop making a living and start making a life and do something that would be more fulfilling and fun. So there's this little thing called the internet happening. Why don't I go learn how to put up a page? Hey guys, do you remember the first time you learned why it was important to have an opt-in box on your landing page, right? It's like building a list. What is that? And so I'm at Armin Moore's big seminar, and this woman in the audience, on a break says to me, hey, Captain Lou, want to do a JV? And I'd never heard the term JV, but I didn't know what she's over. She says, you want to do a joint venture? And she's screaming across the you want to do a joint venture? And it was loud in the room, and I thought she was asking me to smoke a joint with her in the bathroom, right? So I'm like, no. I know I look like a wild man, but I don't like the way that stuff smells. I'm sorry, I'm going to pass, right? And she says, not a joint venture. Come to lunch with me and I'll explain it to you, right? So at lunch, I think she paid. I was a little bit blown away by the marketer's spirit, where everyone, instead of trying to get out of a few dollars by putting in less to the pot, everybody's trying to be the first to throw their credit card in, right? Or pay for the meal. I think that's really cool. Coming from where I come from in Brooklyn, USA, it's a different vibe from the local community, if you get my drift, right? So she says, hey, Captain Lou, the kind of thing that we're doing this weekend, internet marketing training in a conference, instead of a stuffy hotel conference room, could we get a bunch of smart marketers together to mastermind and brainstorm business ideas and product launches? I've never heard these terms before. On the Lido deck, in a hot tub, in maybe the JV jacuzzi. What? At sunset, sipping a pina colada while sailing away from some exotic sun-drenched Caribbean island like Mexico or the Bahamas or the Caribbean. and having fun and connecting with people on a real human level. Is that something that you could help me put together? And having never, ever produced a seminar at sea before, anything of its nature, of course, I leaned into the opportunity and I said, yeah, sure, I think I can help you with that. And then I paused for a moment. I looked her straight in the eye and I said, in fact, that's my specialty. Now, you get the gulp in the pit of your stomach, like, what did I just commit myself to? What did I just do here, right? But yeah, it's one of those situations, midlife. I was having like a midlife Chrysler. It was a Sebring convertible, but it was, I was thinking, if not me, who, and if not now, when? Am I going to go around to people's homes with fabric swatches measuring their windows for the next 23 years? OMG, no. So we got to make something happen here. And I'm sure each of you have a similar story like this, where you had this little inner awakening, right? It said, hey, maybe this internet can help. Maybe it's not a fad. Maybe it'll stay longer than 8-track tapes or cassettes or CB radios. Maybe the internet can change my life. And that's what happened. On a dime, in that moment, on that weekend, everything, my life, my business model, everything changed. There was that open door of opportunity. I walked into it, and the rest is history. And I talk about this in some of my books, that, it's not about fake it until you make it. It's more about acting as if. And, so you just, ready, fire, aim, take action, revise later. Lean into the opportunity. And so that first cruise that we did back then, it was the affiliate master's cruise on affiliate marketing. I talk about how I did everything wrong. You know how you're your own worst critic, and the person who sees most of the flaws is you. You look in the mirror, who's the enemy? It's you. So I'm there thinking about, I wish I would have known about this, and I would have done this better. And everyone here is going to realize that I'm a complete fake, phony, and fraud. And I thought the cruise went horribly. This is back in 2003. And it was information overload. It was speaker after speaker from morning to, you couldn't enjoy the ship. It was only 3 days. You had like one island in the Bahamas you went. It just was a sucky experience. And I kind of wasn't proud of it. And I went back to my cabin and I wanted to crawl underneath the bed and break down and cry. So how many of you have ever felt that way in your life with a project that you've done? Show of hands, right? Okay. So
oh yeah.
So you know how you're beating yourself up because you just screwed up and you're emotional and beat. I think I might have more estrogen than testosterone at this point. I don't know. But so I come out of my cabin like feeling really dejected. And some of the attendees, said, hey, Captain Lou, this was great. This is wonderful. And like, give me a high five. And you ever look over your shoulder because you think they're talking to someone else, right? But they're actually talking. And they're like, high five and give me a hug and shake it. And they would say, this was fantastic. Wow, you've got a real good business model here that you could build up. And when can we do this again? And I'm like, what?
When you want to do it again.
What? You liked it? I mean, of course you liked it.
Of course, I'm an expert at this. I've been doing like that. This is my specialty.
This is my specialty. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. With meeting space and AV and speakers and an event schedule and private dining and island excursions. You need not only you need to be an internet marketer, a cruise agency, and an event planner. There's a multitude of skills that go into here, right? But it is what it is. So that was my start in this whole game. And then, all the gurus, you guys know the rest. I've done cruises for Russell Brunson and for Amazon e-commerce and for medical and dental and fitness and finances and murder mystery and martial arts. But you know me best from the Marketers Cruise, where Mr. Mike Filsame, the multi-million-dollar marketer software guru, tapped me on the shoulder in 2007 and said, hey, would you like to do a joint? And this time I knew what a JV was. So yes. And
she's like, a joint? I would love a joint. Oh, not that.
Oh, no, not a joint. So we put together something called the whole idea was born of, let's be the unseminar. Let's make it a level playing field where instead of guru student, people can get together for a week to build relationships as a peer-to-peer networking and mastermind group, where you check your egos at the door, and you've seen it. Now, how many have been with me on the cruise?
Michelle and I.
Michelle and you.
Jenny is the Marketers Cruise virgin. And this, if you have cabins, this might just be the year we pop her cherry. I'm just saying.
You've got all my lines. I love it. Okay. I'm definitely the R-rated guru, no doubt about it. So yes, Jenny, you're booked obviously for the cruise, right?
I will be soon because you had me a joint venture jacuzzi.
The JV jacuzzi.
But Lou, she goes under me. I claim her. She's my best friend in the entire world. And no one gets to claim Jenny Bellinger because I already have a claim on her, period.
I love it.
That was a visual I don't know if you anticipated giving, but it was a good one.
I love it. So yeah, we've really honed down this formula of the 30-70 work and play networking and mastermind formula. It was 30% work and 70% play. Because what good is if you have information overload and you take 1,000 pages of notes and you follow up on nothing, right? So you have to, it's about life balance, and it's about living this laptop lifestyle that we all espouse, but very few of us really, really live, right? People don't see the blood, sweat, and tears behind the scenes. So we wanted to make something where it was fun, where people's spouses and friends and partners can see what their hubby or their wife is doing, hiding in the bat cave late at night, creating product launches and things like that. Why not welcome everybody into the fold? You've seen it. You guys have seen it. And it's really taken off. And it's something where I can't even find the right words to talk about the relationships, the partnerships, the product launches, the webinar swaps, and solo email, membership sites. I mean, every niche, every walk of marketing and niche imaginable. You've seen this, where people come together from 17 countries around the world to see how we do it here and how we can help each other. And it's been a very, very tremendous blessing in my life to be plucked from obscurity, to go from Captain Who to Captain Lou. From one year, I got a little sick on the cruise. I was Captain Flu, but I don't want to be Captain COVID. So to go from zero to hero, to actually love what I do, as you could tell after almost 20 years, do I love what I do? I do. I love putting people together, facilitating business success and brainstorming, mastermind and networking, product launches. We've had Bob Allen, New York Times bestselling author Robert Allen, do his first tweet from the Marketers Cruise. Mike will say proposed to Michelle on the cruise and get married the next year on.
Not me, other Michelle.
Other Michelle, his wife.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Not to you, Michelle, but if they're ever having problems, stand by.
Michelle.
What else has happened? We've had Armando Montalongo from Flip This House that you've seen on late night TV launch a website from a late night pizza and profit brainstorming session that did $1 million.
Nice.
From zero went to $1 million because of the Marketers Cruise, and gave us that testimonial. So, all right, enough of my bragging.
The coolest thing I got to tell you. So I'm like sitting in the whatever the 10th deck, tech, whatever that is, where the cafeteria thing is. I don't know what you call shit on a cruise. Anyway, so I'm sitting there eating cheesy fries, and Howard Lim's like, "Can I take a seat?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I don't know who he is from Adam, right? He's like, basically like, "Yeah, back in the day when, you used to do graphic design, you could use a Macintosh to do graphic design, but you couldn't really print it out. Like there was no way to print it." He figured out how to do 4-color printing from a Mac. He invented that process. Wow. And and he's like, Forbes 50, whatever. And he's like, I'm like, I'm eating cheesy fries with a guy who figured out how to print shit from a Mac. I mean, like, who does that? I was just blown away. He also wore really great shirts. So he had really good custom shirt wardrobe. But it was when you talk about check your ego at the door and like the great equalizer. I mean, I'm sitting up on the Serenity deck with like Forbes Riley from QVC and Sage Levine and Alina, and we're all like brainstorming Facebook challenges. And I mean, like it's amazing because everybody's just super, well, you're sitting around in a bikini, so you're just sort of like just ego naked. It's great. It's just such a fabulous it's so fabulous. And you and Phyllis are so flipping adorable. First of all, you're adorable. And your team is phenomenal. It's just so great. So my question for you, Lou, is how do you put together, talk a little bit about putting together the kind of team that it takes to make that kind of experience happen? Because it does, like, you're the leader, quite obviously, but you don't do it all.
No, I have a company. I'm actually sitting at Captain Lou's Subterranean World headquarters right now at the bottom of a shopping mall. We live in the tower above the mall here in West New York, New Jersey. And here I've got a small team of people that help me run the business now that it's become a 7-figure business, and we do a lot more than just the Marketers Cruise. But the Marketers Cruise is my baby. That's my pride and joy. That started all the flagship event that got me to write 3 books, speak on stages in the travel industry, keynoting in front of 1,200 travel agents, all sorts of great things that landed in my lap because of that. So we have the team here in the office. Then we have some pretty girls that we call angels that come on the cruise to be at the extreme hospitality desk that you know, and cater to everyone and whatever needs there are. So that's great. It's not that hard to find people that want to be a Captain Lou Angel. And then there's the partners, where in this case, Mike Filsame, the multi-million-dollar marketer, and I have been doing this specific cruise for 15 years. It's our 15th annual. And then we have Tom Beal, that was an old friend way back when, that's been on almost every cruise. And finally, we said, how would you like to co-host with me and facilitate the sessions? We have something called a group leader showcase, where people bring their own tribes, and you've seen this. Where this was really,
that's how I got there.
Yeah, that's how you got there. Who invited you on the cruise?
Jay Facette. Jay Facette didn't invite me. No, Jay Facette said, "Go get your credit card. You're going on this thing." And then I found out that it was because he probably needed one more room to be able to get onto the stage. He just called me up. He's like, "Hi, you're going on this cruise." So I told my husband, I'm like, apparently I'm going on a cruise with Jay Facette. So I'll see ya. See ya when we get back.
Wow. So you know what, guys, it takes a village. And I realize that. And even though people have their own tribes and their own audiences, and some are very proprietary over their tribe. And they'll say to me, Captain Lou, I could do it. I could do my own cruise. What do I need to co-opt with all of these other gurus and speakers and leaders? And I said, well, because some people are not abundant minded. Not everyone you deal with is going to have this abundance mindset. And some might say, I don't want to expose my audience, my subscribers, my members to other gurus that could take them away from me. And others might say, well, I'm bringing 20 people to this cruise, but you know what? We will all be exposed to 300 or 400. 300, 400 other people can find out what I'm doing and become my clients. So it works both ways. It's like the law of reciprocity. So if you have an abundance mindset, you're not worried that someone's going to poach your clients. You're just not. I never am. And so we've been fortunate to attract the right people. I don't know how. Maybe people see my heart, Phyllis, the people we try to surround ourselves with. Mm-hmm. We've been very fortunate. Phyllis says to me, the right people wind up at the Marketers Cruise. I used to get very nervous and upset if someone would cancel. And I would say to them, Can you just tell us why you've decided not to honor your commitment to participate? And look, see the.
Wait. Could you explain to me why you've decided to not honor your commitment?
Yes. Ouch. Can you explain to me why you've decided not to honor your commitment to participate and play full out? Now, that is a bold statement coming from this New Yorker. And that is, when you come on the Marketers Cruise, you're not just an attendee, just to kind of raid the buffet 5 times a day. You're there to contribute, to actually help as a so-called, as an online marketer in this level playing field, where whether it is that you have a fledgling business and you're a future success story, or you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure entrepreneur, you're there not to just sit back and say, you know, I'm the king or queen, but to actually contribute, to be a blessing in other people's lives, to come there and get up on mic and share your favorite cool tools, hot links, profitable resources, a book you read, a strategy, a person that you'd like to connect somebody with. If you can't come there with that mindset, because it's all about you, you don't have to come, right? The cruise is by invitation only. So we tell people, you're not just buying a ticket to a cruise where we're there to entertain you or to pontificate from the pulpit. You're there to participate and play out fully. It's a mastermind, brainstorming, and networking vacation. So what do you bring to the table? And they're like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. It's possible. Virginia, when Jay invited you on the cruise, you had no idea what you were in for, right?
I had no clue, Lou. I had absolutely no clue. But here's the thing, you know, when you follow great people, when you're in relationship with great people and a great person says to you, you belong here, then you just show up. And for me, you know, I declared in 2017, late in 2017, that I was going to play a bigger game. And so like what you were talking about, which I think is so valuable, is you lean in and you say yes and you figure it all out later. Because every time you do that, you expand your capacity for greatness. And that's something, I mean, I got so much from being on that cruise. I met so many cool people, and it has taken me down an amazing path that I can share with you later. But Jenny and Michelle, what questions do you guys have for Lou? They just wanted you to tell me
about the story. Well, and you said I was exposing myself to 400 people, so I was just, you know, visualizing that. But I know you're sweeter than that, so don't worry, I won't put that out there for you. But what I do like is going on the cruise. It was fantastic because you do have an opportunity to be able to be in the spotlight, and you have a ton of opportunity to be able to network with other amazing people, and everybody does play full on. So everybody's in the room, whether they're terrified of their own shadow or if they cast a shadow over everybody that they see, like everybody's in the room. And it's just so much fun to be able to just kind of bang it out and have fun with people you never met before.
It's an energy that you feel. But you know, another thing, guys, that we say is no pitching. No, there's no selling from the stage. So in the Facebook group, we say no pitching and no bitching. So it's, you know, marketers, it's like herding cats. And not everybody's on the same page, but we try to get you there. So the first thing we decided, Mike and I, years ago, is we're not going to have anyone sell you anything from our stage. That includes the people that come up to give their 30-second elevator speech, to the speakers that have brought us mini groups of their own. They can speak on a topic of their expertise, pure content, no selling. No order forms will be handed out at the back of the room for this one-time offer. We don't do that. Well, then how can, if I can't do that, how can I make money off of the cruise? Well, no one said that you can't have one-on-one. You're going to be for 8 days breaking bread with some of the brightest thought leaders in the world and in our industry. No one says that you can't go and make friends with people and maybe ask them about their life while you're sailing or on a beach party and connect on a human level. But more importantly than that, it's not sales that you really want to make on the cruise. You don't want to chase someone down the hallway to sell them your widget or your latest book. What you want to do is look for joint venture partners that have a synergy with either in the same field or the type of modality of marketing that you're doing. So rather than looking for the one-off, what can I sell this person that's on the cruise? How can we put something together as a partnership, as a JV. Maybe this is a super affiliate. Maybe they can expose me and my products to their audience and vice versa. Can we do a webinar swap, an email swap, a stage swap? Can we partner on a project or a product launch? And we try to tell people, have a bigger vision. This coming from the 8th grade dropout, by the way, that's never seen the inside of a high school and has gone on to do all this stuff. But try to have a bigger vision than just how you can get that low-hanging fruit and monetize from being there. Does that make sense, ladies?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that people need to go too with a kind of a fun first attitude, that it's have fun and the money will come. Right. I remember one of the cruises that I went on, and I've been on a ton of them because they were awesome. We keep going back. We were in the big building where you line up to get onto the cruise ship, whatever that's called. And somebody sat across from us.
The port.
The port. And he was being a dork. And so, of course, I gave him a little bit of shit and abuse just for shits and giggles and the entertainment of everybody around us. And I was getting a little too much attention from his friends. So, of course, we then really started harping on him. And then we left, and, you know, our thing came and went. And we happenstance like that a couple of times. And he's like, okay, you're a smartass, and I need to know who you are. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but you keep picking on me, but it's really funny. I'm glad you like it.
So he enjoyed the abuse. He enjoyed the abuse.
He enjoyed the abuse, which is good in our line of work. And, you know, as long as they keep coming back for more, we'll keep feeding out to them. But yeah, it ended up being a phenomenal contact, because he's like, oh my God, I totally need you guys. I'm like, we totally need you. So this is awesome. So yeah, just you find the people that you need to, but it was fun first.
I love it.
You know, the other thing I love, Lou, that, you know, you arrive, this is the other thing I just got to say, Jenny, you and Marcel, I'm just saying, we're going to get you a link. You get to your cabin, right? And you get to your cabin, and there's like a t-shirt and a backpack, and inside the bag is a book that's like 1.5 inches thick. And it's a directory with the contact information, the bio, and a gift from every single person that's on the cruise. And you get to go through and be like, oh, wow, like Virginia's giving away her business by referral blueprint course. I totally need that. And then you seek them out, and then you download their thing, and you like all that free stuff. So it can be a little overwhelming, but if you go like, okay, I'm pre-programmed to know what resources I need, you can find it in this book. And then everyone's introducing themselves, and you're like flipping through this book like insanity. Although we really should have everyone line up by their number in the book, by page number, which would make it a lot easier. But you're just like yes, no, yes, no. And Kimberly Crow writes about Scott Conway, nothing to offer, seems like a good guy. And they ended up doing all kinds of JV stuff together, right? Because his business wasn't off and running yet. He was just there doing what Scott does, right? So it was really amazing. He made some amazing connections there because of that book. And, you know, you're toting around that book, and you're like, oh, you're on page 72. Yeah, you were somebody I wanted to talk to. But then you get this little knock on the door, knock, knock, knock. And I can't even remember what it was, but we ate it quick. We ate it darn quick. It was a bottle of champagne. It was a bottle of champagne and like some chocolate covered strawberries and some like cool cookie, chocolate covered fruit. And it was so unexpected. It was so over the top. It was, I mean, that I was like, I love me some Captain Lou.
You know, always under promise and over deliver. And the love is in the details. So none of that was happening, by the way, on that first cruise I told you about on Halloween of 2023. We had none of this formula figured out. It's all from, you know, you always want to make things better. And I'm so glad that you brought these two items up. The directory, that came into play a few years ago, because we used to have people get up and just give their little audio logo, their elevator speech, and then they'd be forgotten. I said, how can we turn push marketing into pull marketing? You want to pull people towards you instead of vomiting your stuff on them. How many people come up to you, here's what I do, blah, 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 and they're just vomiting on you. Mm-hmm. So if we give everyone a printed page in our onboard directory, and then they come up and they say, please turn to page, 109, and people scribbling notes in the margins. Hey, there's Virginia Musquez. I think I want to, there's a synergy. I might want to meet up with her later. You don't need to joint venture with 453 people. All you need is a handful or maybe a dozen special connections over the course of the week where they seek you out because they like your demeanor and something that you said, and then they read more about you on your page. So now you don't have to be that awkward networker that's doing the speed networking. You ever do the speed networking and
that's all we've done during COVID. I swear to bejesus. I actually created a 3-day event, Lou, to counterattack the whole, you're in a breakout room with 10 people and everybody's like yakking, you know?
Yeah. We just didn't want that. We didn't want that. And so you asked originally the question, how do I build this team? Well, a lot of the team is the cruise line that we negotiate in advance. Well, we're bringing you close to 500 people. Can we have some champagne and chocolates upon embarkation, even if it comes out of my commission? Can I just say that? Yeah, well, but you know what? If you do good for people, won't it come back to you tenfold, right? You know, if you so wildly over deliver, won't people come up to you, superstars that you never imagined that would, that you could ever get an audience with, and they'll tap you on the shoulder and they'll say, hey, I like where you're coming from, and I love what you do, and how can we work together? And that's what's happened to my life and my business. That's what I wish on each and every one of you, because just to put yourself out there, if people, people know, like, and trust you, they just want to help you and they want to work with you. And then the business comes, and the relationships come, and the partnerships come. And it's taken me a while to figure this stuff out, guys. I'm the guy from Brooklyn, New York, that was involved with Vince McMahon's World Wrestling Federation for 4 years, back in the late 70s, early 80s, and then went on to be the slipcover upholstery and window treatment guy for the next 23 years. Never in a million years would have I ever dreamt of the possibilities that we have before us now in this internet age, where the world is so much smaller, but you can laser target all the right people like we have here. Isn't it an amazing to be alive right now, and especially after COVID, to be alive right now? Yeah, it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
So true. So you've been doing this since 2003. You said you've done 15?
Well, for the marketers group, this is our 15th annual. I've probably done about 100 cruises, cruise events, ranging from 50 to 500 people. We've done dental conferences at sea. We've done martial arts and murder mysteries. I did a beautiful 12-day exotic Mediterranean mastermind real estate investors, where to get on the cruise, besides the cruise ticket price, it was a $25,000 fee to be part of the mastermind. Is that amazing? When we did Russell Brunson's ClickFunnels cruise, it wasn't for his ClickFunnels subscribers.
No, I did not want to talk about that, Lou, but just go right ahead and politicize the whole freaking podcast.
People who've gotten to that level and who pay him for mastermind membership between $18,000 and $25,000 a person. And Russell said to me, those are the only people we're letting in. And guess how many of his people that pay that kind of, and this will really inspire you to the possibilities that we all have in front of us. We had, I think, 379 or 400 and something people, and every one of them were part of his 25K mastermind. And so the cruise price was negligible compared to being part of this mastermind. Right. So with us, the marketers cruise, we don't mark it up more than a couple $100. We don't sell from the stage, and we're not running a 25K mastermind for you to be able to come on the cruise. And I think that and I have to give a lot of the credit to my co-founder, Mike Filsaime, who said, look, I've done $1 million product launches, and there is certainly room for seminars and masterminds and high ticket events and clubs. But the cruise should be affordable for everyone, so they could bring their spouse or friends or family, and they can have that level playing field to get a leg up. I personally never looked for a hand out. I wanted a hand up. And so the barrier to entry these days, just with what we're doing here with the Zoom and the podcast, and then things like this mastermind cruise where you can meet millionaire marketers and hang out and break bread on the beaches of the world for 8 days. We never had that, right? I mean, when I was younger, don't you guys wish we could just turn back time and wish you knew then what you know now, right? Right? So we never had these opportunities. And Mike and I figured, yes, okay, let's not make this a big money play. Make this about branding. People will really respect and admire that we're doing this. And that will lead to more business, as it did for me, as it did for Mike. So if you've got your name attached to some really cool, laid back thing, I'll keep looking at the badass, the BDSM logo. If you have a memorable brand and deliverable, then even if you don't make that much money on that particular one project, like the Marketers Cruise, how many more projects are going to come your way? How many speaking gigs have I been asked to do in the travel industry because of what I do here? It's a huge web of opportunity. So it goes much further than the marketers. And of course, each of you, I'm sure, will agree with a multitude of projects that some are, fabulous. Some are more fabulous than they're profitable, and some of them are more profitable. But you're not. Have you ever been in something where you can make a lot of money, but you're not thrilled at the people you're working with? Or do you only work with great people, guys? Tell me. Have you fired? The pains, the people that you don't connect with?
Yeah, I've hit that level. Yeah. Like, I don't have to do this anymore. I'm the one who gives the pain, not.
I love it. I love it. But anyway, it's taken me a long while to figure all of this out, and we're in a really good place now. If we can only get past this this whole pandemic, which didn't we all think it was over a few months ago, and we could just move on, right? I know Virginia wanted to ask about how are we all going on a marketers cruise? Are we concerned about COVID, the spikes happening and things like that? So I'll just take a minute or two to address that. I'm not going to politicize it. That's funny. I'm going to say that for the last 7 or 8 weeks at the time of this recording, the cruise industry, not the president, the administration, not the Democrats or the Republicans, not any politician or government, but the cruise industry, which is flagged offshore, they're not even US companies, have figured out that the way that they can sail safely without major illnesses and outbreaks of this pandemic, which I'm sorry is not just the flu. I know 9 people who perished. That they can do that, at least for now, by having vaccinated cruises, fully vaccinated. They've created a bubble besides its sanitation and health and hygiene and air filtration systems and just going crazy over keeping everyone safe and healthy. If you have the sniffles, they don't want you on that ship. Currently, you have to be tested, even the vaccinated have to be tested negative within 72 hours of boarding, or you don't get to go. They want their goal, the cruise industry, is to make the onboard experience as you're living on a ship for 8 days safer than a trip to your local supermarket. And they're cheap.
And Lou, you know what? I had some conversations about this with people because, requiring and blah, blah, blah. And I said, just from a simple standpoint of this, if you're in that tight environment and one person gets, let's take the C-19 off the thing. Somebody gets the flu. The chances of the flu proliferating through the ship is high. You're going to get a high number of people because everybody is pre-symptomatic coughing at the buffet, right? So that's why I don't eat buffets. But anyway, so but with COVID, the likelihood of you needing oxygen, being put like extreme medical care, I'm like, you would have to be an idiot as a cruise ship owner to want to just be like, yeah, everybody hop on. We've got we've got a ventilator or not. And then if you're like, we have really sick people, well, no country is going to want you. No port is going to take those people. So you literally are sailing around on a death ship. It makes total sense to me. And that's not even political. That's just logic.
Is this part of my clothes? I don't think that's going too well.
I think it's logic, but anyway, no, but my point is from the cruise, like there are a lot of reasons that I might or may not agree with everything, but I did, like, logically speaking, it's like, this is how you do it because they can't take care of sick people. So
well, not that
many
right,
at that thing, but
at that scale. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So,
And we just learned a few days ago, one of the ports we're visiting, Grand Turk Island, just now said as of September 16th, they will only accept, whether by land or sea or planes, vaccinated tourists, as much as these islands depend as their lifeblood on tourism. They don't want to take a chance at pandemic spread and hospitals being overwhelmed and people dying. So they actually are going to all vaccinated.
Yep.
I don't understand how this all became political. It became this whole political thing.
We can talk about that on another Bad Girls kinky politics episode, which is, the deal is Lou, you've done a really great job navigating it. I've appreciated every single post you've made on every response that you've given has been very measured and very balanced, very logical and depoliticized. And I will say, when we had our conversation, you were forthright and upright and completely gracious. And you worked with me all the way through to what are you going to do? And I surprised you, because I'm going on the cruise. So,
well, guess who else was part of your club?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, what happened?
And today you got it. No one can see it, but in any case, ladies, we are at the top of the hour. We have loved Captain Lou. Is there anything else you guys want to ask or say to Captain Lou before we let him go today?
Honestly, the thing that I got to say is you had me a JV jacuzzi.
JV jacuzzi. How about sushi at sunset?
Oh, you really have her nailed.
Oh, sushi at sunset. Dude. How about pizza and profits?
Sushi and sunset's good for me. That's good for me. JV jacuzzi, sushi and sunset. Like, had me at
so Jenny B, we'll have a conversation. Michelle, you got anything?
For your audience, Virginia, for your audience, just so that I don't forget with all of this great chat we've had, there are still some tickets available. It's pay in full, non-cancelable, non-refundable, because we're past all deadlines. There's a few cabins available at marketerscruise.com. It's something like $1,598 per person for a beautiful balcony ocean view stateroom. We still have some of those. And we'd love to have you with us if you're invited by Virginia. And if you're fun, because if you're no fun, don't come. And if you feel that Jenny is fun. And we've already discovered that Michelle is fun because she's been with us before.
She is.
Go balcony.
Go balcony for sure.
Go balcony.
Go balcony.
Go balcony. And we're excited. Excuse me. We're totally excited to have you with us. Make sure that when you go to marketerscruise.com and you choose your cruise, that you mention me or Bad Girls on Business so that Lou knows, because I don't know what the prizes are, but me, it's all about me. All right. And if not about me, then it's about Michelle. So Michelle and I. If Michelle and I get 5 together, like between the two of us, could we share the time, the stage time?
Well, we will work something out. But let me ask you I know we're at the top of the hour. Guys, how have I done? Am I an honorary bad girl?
Absolutely. But we do have, before Jenny takes us out, we do have our Bad Girls on Business rapid fire A/B split testing that we need to do. So, Lou, marketing. When you think about marketing, domination or power sub?
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, actually, no, I got it wrong. It's domination or seduction. Power subs later.
Ooh.
Jenny's like, that's not the question.
Okay.
Domination, domination or seduction?
Well, absolutely seduction.
All right. Ready, Lou? We know the answer to this one. Networking. Exhibitionist or voyeur?
Wait.
Exhibitionist or voyeur?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. For me, I would say the public Captain Lou persona, exhibitionist, but privately voyeur.
Okay. Leadership, gentleman dom or power sub?
Wait, gentleman?
Gentleman dom. So are you a gentleman dominant or are you a power submissive when it comes to leadership?
Oh, I'm a top. I mean, I'm sorry. Wait, edit that out.
That's okay. That's good. I'm not editing anything because you said things.
Oh,
so
no.
we're going there.
Oh, no,
All right.
that was awesome.
Oh, no.
But we were talking about leadership, Lou. Just
We're
leadership.
talking about leadership, and it's okay.
It's okay to be on top.
Totally be on top.
Yeah, the leadership.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
When you think of managing a team, managing or building a team, married or mistress? That's kind of like W-2 employees or contractors. Married or mistress?
Oh, I feel like each business relationship is a marriage. So they're not my mistresses. They're my spouses. I have multiple spouses. I must be a Mormon.
Well, that brings us to entrepreneurship, Lou. Monogamy, entrepreneurship, monogamy or polyamory?
Oh, these are great questions.
I know Jenny thought them. Jenny and Michelle thought them up. I just get to ask them.
These are brilliant questions. Monogamy or polyamory? I think that as a man who can only do one thing really well at a time, whereas you ladies can multitask, so you can have.
We're also multigasmic, so that's also another thing. We have more fun.
It helps.
I'm jealous of that. I'm jealous.
You should.
I really am. And then in my next lifetime, I'm coming back as either a woman or as a dog. But I would say just my limitations are I've got blinded. When I'm focused, I need to like ramp things up on one project, one business, one thing. Before COVID and I had 5 different things going on, it wasn't as comfortable for me. So monogamy to one project, one business, as best as you can.
One beautiful lady.
Right. For 30 years, I've been with one beautiful lady. It's true. Yep.
And she's amazing.
Yeah. Phyllis. By the way, the secret to that is just by, just letting people be who they are and not being threatened by, I'm sure you guys know that. A lot of men are threatened by strong personalities.
Sleazy women?
Yeah. But strong personalities and differences of views. And they dig their heels in. Maybe women do the same. But it's okay for people to be different. And it's okay for people to have a life and to come together to share all the good stuff. So, 30 years I'm celebrating with my honey, Phyllis. I'm really proud of that.
Oh,
probably more proud of that than anything. But okay. So was that it?
There you go. So Captain Lee.
I love these questions. You guys came up with these questions?
We did.
These are great. You know what? I love this. I love this brand. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today.
Yay.
It's wonderful.
Well, Jenny B is going to take us, thank you, and take us out. So Jenny B, what you got?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you, Captain Lou. Thank you for taking us on this wonderful journey today. We are so happy and excited to share you and the Marketers Cruise and all the options that our listeners have in order to begin taking a look at how they could maybe take their business at sea. So for those of you who are listening and you want to know how to connect with Lou, make sure Captain Lou, sorry, got to get that right. Sorry, Captain.
Oh, Captain, our Captain.
Absolutely. Make sure you check the show notes. Grab your phone as long as you're not driving. Click on the episode, scroll up, and you will see all of Captain Lou's links to connect. So on all the platforms, please reach out to Captain Lou. And also make sure you connect with us, the Bad Girls on Business, by going to badgirlsonbusiness.com, and stay tuned because there's another badass episode on its way.
Thank you for listening to the Bad Girls on Business podcast. Don't forget to check the show notes for any links mentioned in this episode and for additional contact information about the guest or our hostesses. If this show got you going, we'd love to hear about it when you subscribe, rate, and review the show on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Can't get enough of the direct sales dom, the referral diva, or your mistress in business? The Bad Girls have hidden their gift for you at badgirlsonbusiness.com. When you find the Easter egg, use the password BGOB to unlock your treasure chest of goodies.